Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and welcome back. I'm so glad you're joining me for this. Think of this as a little refresher, a chance for us to go back over our recent class on hijab and really lock in those key ideas. All right, let's dive right in. You'll remember we kicked things off with this really important question. Why is hijab considered a mercy? And, it's such a perfect way to look at this, because once you find the answer, the whole philosophy behind hijab just clicks. And it all starts with understanding who the command comes from. So this is our first big idea. This is a command from the loving. Before we get into any of the specifics, we have to get this one thing straight. The command for hijab, just like every other command from Allah, doesn't come from a place of trying to restrict us. Nope. It comes from a place of pure, absolute, infinite love. And that brings us to one of the most beautiful names of Allah, Al-Wadud, the most loving. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. When we truly understand that the one who is asking us to observe hijab is Al-Wadud, our whole viewpoint just has to shift, right? We start to see every single guideline not as some heavy burden, but as a gift, a form of protection, coming from that perfect love. Because when you know the command is coming from Al-Wadud, the most loving, you trust it completely. Think about it. Every piece of guidance flows from this incredible source of care and affection for us, His creation. This understanding is really the bedrock of our faith. It lets us accept His commands, not with doubt, but with hearts that are totally at peace. And that deep, loving trust we have in our Creator, Al-Wadud, is just so perfectly captured in this verse from the Quran. It's a powerful reminder that for a true believer, once Allah has spoken, the discussion is over. We trust Him. True faith means we align our own wishes with His. We hear and we obey. Not because we're forced to, but because we have complete and total faith in the one who loves us more than anyone. Okay, so we've established the why. It's a command that comes from a place of love. So now let's look at the what. What are the specific instructions that He gave us? Let's turn to the direct guidance in the Quran. So, the main guidance on hijab is found in Surah An-Nur, which actually means the chapter of light. And I just love how Allah addresses us here. He speaks directly to the mu'minat, the believing women. See, this isn't some cold, generic rule for everybody. This is a personal, almost intimate conversation between the Creator and the women who have faith in Him. And when you look at the verse itself, you see that hijab is this amazing, complete system. And check out the order of things. It's so important. It starts on the inside with lowering the gaze. Then it moves to guarding one's modesty. And only then does it talk about the external action, the covering, specifically drawing the veils over the chest. It's a whole system of modesty that works from the inside out. And that idea of inside out is the perfect lead-in to our next section. Because as that verse makes so clear, hijab is so much more than a piece of fabric. It's the outer expression of some really beautiful qualities that we build on the inside. Let's break down what we call the soul of hijab. It really rests on 3 pillars. First, you have haya. That's that natural, beautiful sense of modesty and shyness that protects your dignity. This then leads to iffa, which is all about chastity and purity in your character and how you act. And both of these are wrapped up and protected by tahara, which is that overall state of purity, both spiritual and physical, that hijab helps you hold on to. These 3 together, that's the real essence of hijab. And this quote from our lesson just nails it, doesn't it? You will always find that a girl with hijab protects the purity of her body and her honor. It's so true. When you work on building that sense of modesty on the inside, protecting your dignity on the outside just becomes this natural, beautiful result. The inner you and the outer you are working in perfect sync. All right, so we've talked a lot about what hijab is. But sometimes to really understand something, you have to understand what it's not. To really get why it's called a shield, we need to look at its complete opposite. And this slide lays out that crucial difference. On the one hand, you have hijab. It's halal, meaning it's the permissible, prescribed way to cover. The whole point is to conceal beauty, promote modesty, and protect your honor. Now, its direct opposite is tabarruj, and that's haram, or forbidden. Tabarruj is any way of dressing or acting that's meant to show off one's beauty in an improper way to attract attention. They have completely opposite goals. And we have to be honest, this is a really serious matter. The Prophet, peace be upon him, gave a very clear and stark warning about tabarruj. But the goal of a warning like this isn't to make us live in fear. It's to show us just how much Allah values our dignity and wants to protect us. It's a reminder of his mercy in guiding us away from something that is genuinely harmful to us and to society. Okay, so let's pull all of these different ideas together now. We've talked about how hijab is a command from the loving. We've looked at the guidance in the Quran. We've explored the inner qualities and the outer protection. When you put it all together, you see hijab for what it truly is, a deep, profound act of faith. You see, hijab isn't some random cultural tradition. It's woven into the very heart of our faith. It's a direct expression of our iman, our belief. It's right up there with our prayers, with our fasting, with our charity. It's a core act of worship and obedience, and a powerful part of our testimony of faith, our shahada. And really, it all boils down to this. The hijab that you wear on the outside is like a banner. It's an announcement to the world of the iman that you carry in your heart. It's this beautiful, powerful symbol of your identity as a Muslim woman, a woman who lovingly and willingly submits to her creator. And that brings us to our final thought for today. I really want to leave you with this question to think about. Hijab is just one amazing example, but this idea applies to everything we do. How can we, in every single moment, try to make our actions, our words, and our character a true and beautiful reflection of the faith we hold inside our hearts? It's a lifelong journey for all of us. We'll talk more about it next time, inshallah.